What's up, YouTube fam? Chris back with Blind Man's BS. So it's Friday the 16th. I did a daily reflection this morning, and it was raining up hell all day. I wasn't gonna do nothing. I've been just posted up inside, kicking it with the cat, watching YouTube videos, and took a nap. Well, I walked to the store and got some ice cream and some milk and donuts and stuff earlier, but Todd got home from work and he was gonna go get something to eat, try to start his car, and the car won't hit. Right, well, it's trying, but it's turning over so slowly, it ain't got no juice. So this video is gonna be us troubleshooting whether or not his battery's down or his alternators took a kaput, and that's why the battery's not charged. So Drew's on his way home from work. He's gonna run us down here to the parts house, and I'm gonna buy a set of cables because I need a good set of cables to keep around here anyway. We're gonna come back here and jump start his car and troubleshoot what it is exactly that's going on with it. So Todd already eliminated the possibility of it being corrosion. He took the wire brush and a 10 mil and got the terminals took off and cleaned the posts and the terminals, and we put it back together and it still wouldn't hit. So we got my awesome next door neighbors, he's a mechanic, and he brought his jump box over and we tried to jump the car and it still wouldn't hit a lick. So, well, both my neighbors are awesome. This guy's mowing right now is what you're hearing in the background probably, but so the plan now is we're going to go get these cables, we're going to come back here, we're going to jump start the car, get it running. We're going to take the multimeter, we're going to hook it up to the battery after the car is already running. This is going to verify whether it's charging or not to see if it still has no voltage on the battery. Basically, well, it's going to tell us if the alternator's outputting enough charge. 13.5 to 14.3 ish is like minimum. These cars these days, some of them Chevys be close to 15, but the battery should settle right around 12 with the car off, but with the car running and the alternator healthy charging, it'll be higher than 13.5 or at minimum 13.5. So Drew gets here, I'll pick back up with y'all. I'll film running to the parts house and picking up this set of cables and come back, and I'll walk y'all through this troubleshooting of the no start or the slow start. It just and then click. So it really just ain't got no ass to it. So worst case scenario, the car will be running because we're going to jump it with the cables, so we can drive the car to Walmart and then remove the battery in the parking lot, take it inside, exchange it for a new one if it's the battery. If we get it jump started and it's at whatever it is, 10, 12, anything lower than what I already previously said 3 times, then we're going to have to do an alternator on the car. So not sure what the plan will be, what Todd wants to do about that if that's the case, but I'll pick back up, bro, as soon as Drew gets here and we roll out. Alright, y'all, we're in the parts house. We'll see if we can't find these cables. Todd's my eyes, man. He's scoping the scene. I can only imagine if I had to come in here and find something by myself, I'd be looking, feeling around all day.
Bro, I don't see him.
You want me to holler up there and ask him?
Oh, okay, so, yeah, that's the case I'm going to be.
You got jumping cables?
Jumper cable? Yeah, over there on the battery station, bottom shelf.
Okay.
Thank you. Back yonder shelf says. They make some cheap, skinny ones. I don't want the cheapest ones because they fucking suck. I want a little bit of the better ones because
Battery cables there.
It's over here.
Oh. Oh, there we go. cheapest one is,
Nah, we don't want the cheapest ones. We want a little bit better quality ones.
I would say silver vein is probably the best one.
All right, that'll work.
A little bit thicker wire, a little bit longer.
Yeah.
well, one's $42.99, one's $31.99.
Silver's probably the length. Get the 31 as long as they're still silver. They're probably the same gauge.
Well, one's red and one's silver,
Uh,
but they're both diehard.
This one's the 42. Yeah, that one's the 31.
Okay, so this is $31.
cool. Is it the better of them? Not the cheapest ones?
No, the
All right.
cheapest ones is $14.
Yeah, no, we're good with them right there. Yeah, I've experienced rather large headaches with the cheap ones not having the ass to transfer the juice.
Don't let anybody in here.
Well, I'm either gonna have to get a battery or alternator, one or two.
Yeah.
For sure, because I
If,
gotta have a vehicle.
What I'm gonna do is, you might need my car. I'm gonna leave the key in there because I'm gonna get in the shower, and if you need to run the auto zone, that wouldn't be pointless for you to drive over there and then just die again.
That's a shot.
Yeah. You said you do have a license?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got our cables, boys. We're gonna hook her up here and see if she'll hit, and if she will, we'll break out this
Does he put
multimeter.
his on first, or does it matter?
Yeah, usually you'll do his positive, then his negative, then your positive, then your negative, then
That's what I was thinking.
and then we'll put the multimeter on it and take a reading of that battery and see what this bad boy's doing. So
Here, I'll let you hook it up, Todd.
I'll pick back up with you right here in a
Where's
second.
the
We get it hooked up and fired up.
Right here.
Well, we've got it hooked up here. It didn't want to hit, so we reissued our cables, and we're going to give her another attempt. I had the accelerator holding the RPMs up a little bit on Drew's, trying to get it to charge up. Might hold it here for another minute, and then we'll try it again. If it don't hit, we'll just have to go get us a battery and throw in it and see what's going on with it. This is another trick here when you're dealing with trying to jump start something that's dead. A good little tip is to hold the revs up to about 2,000, 2,500 or something. It'll really get the car you're using to jump with alternator outputting better, so it'll charge the dead one a little better. So we'll give her about 30 more seconds of this, and we'll hit it again, and if she ain't making no smoke, then we'll have to just go get us a battery. But the battery that's in the trunk of that BMW, it's already unhooked. All I gotta do is just pop the trunk and grab it.
Alright, I guess I'll give her a try, Bob.
Let's see what she does. Nothing.
It acted like it wanted to, but it quit after a couple seconds. Like it'll go, and then nothing.
I want to take these cables off of yours, off of it all the way together. We can shut it down. I want to put that multimeter on yours and just for entertainment purposes see what it says it's reading.
Yeah.
Because if that son of a bitch is reading 12 and it's not hitting a lick, you know what I mean?
It's definitely.
Something's going on. I don't know what. That's wild. I wonder. Surely the starter couldn't be shitting out. I don't know. You mind to hit this door lock? Well, we can go unhook this thing first here.
It could be the starter, dude. That's what I thought it was at first.
Wow, man.
Load these up here.
I'm gonna turn Drew's car off. Is it good to go
Yeah,
as far as that? Alright guys, we're going to throw the multimeter on here and test the battery's voltage.
It should have enough juice, bro, since it's been charging forever.
I don't know, man. That BMW done me like that. The battery is done on it, and it would not. I had to take the battery out of Daniel's Durango and put in it just to get it drove over. Well, I'm gonna knock this, but I can grab this front chair. Alright, let's see if we can.
And these are good cables, man. I mean, it was definitely hooked up good.
Yeah, I'm thinking that if this says anything below 12, the battery's probably shot on this thing. But can't really remember where I set this damn thing at last time, guys. Alright guys, so we got 12.5 static just sitting there on the battery, so we're at a loss right now. We're gonna peck on this starter with this hammer, or this pry bar here. See if we can't get her to, I don't know, usually it's not a slow to start issue. It's seeming like the starter motor just doesn't have the ass, is honestly is what it's seeming like. But Todd's gonna peck on it here and see what we can come up with.
Hey, if I have to, I'll call Tino right now, my boss, and tell him, hey, I don't know if I'll be able to make it tomorrow. I have to change my starter, but
I ain't gonna lie, Todd. You know how I roll is we go to the parts house and get one right now, by God. We want to stay out here all night and put that son of a bitch on.
But I mean, he'll be straight with me, man, as long as, you know, I'm let him know.
Yeah. Well, let's peck on her and see what we can come up with. Alright, guys. We're headed to Walmart now to buy a battery because even though it's reading 12.5 volts, I called best mechanic I know, my stepdad. He said that these Hondas are weird, that battery is probably crap and to go try one. So I got in there and hit the key a couple times and it just acts like the battery's going down. So BMW needs a battery anyway. If this one ends up being good, the one in the Honda, we'll repurpose it in the Beamer, and then the Honda will have a brand new one. But either way, we gotta get him on the road for the morning. So as soon as we get up here to Walmart and we're dealing with this battery shit, I'll pick back up. All right. We made it to Walmart, guys. We're gonna go back here and find us a battery, and we got the big ass battery out of the Beamer, and we're gonna use as a core because it's crap. So yeah, they're in one of them last aisles towards the auto entrance there. Once we get back in the car, I'll pick back up with y'all. Alright, we left Walmart. We finally got the battery. We returned, we took the core. They gave us the core charge. Now we're at Penn Station getting some chow because we're both starved to death. But it's getting dark outside, so I don't know how well we're going to be able to see when we get to the house and put this battery in the car. But as soon as we get there, we'll put it in, and I'll film the fire attempt. I'm pretty sure it's going to get it squared away, but we'll be home here in a few minutes. Alright guys, it's day 2, round 2, Todd's car project. We're going to start working on it sometime this morning. And we went and got a new battery and put in it last night, and it still acts like the battery's dead and it's trying to turn over barely. And so we cleaned the terminals first thing, thinking maybe because they were corroded to death that it was a terminal issue. That didn't help. Still doing the same thing. So we went and bought us a new battery, and that didn't help. So the old battery was even reading 12.5 when the car was off. Obviously it won't start. And so we went ahead and left it. We put the new battery in it, and I remember being in the car the other day. We went to Waffle House, and when he went to start the car, it didn't. He turned the key to start it, and it didn't click. It didn't get power. It didn't do anything. And as I was laying in the bed last night, I was pondering that the ignition switch could potentially not be allowing power to pass through it to the trigger, the solenoid on the starter, but there's also a relay in between that solenoid and the ignition switch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a wire and jump 12 volts to the trigger terminal on the solenoid and see if it'll hit. If it spins over and starts with the key in the on position, then we know it's either the relay or the ignition switch. And I've seen those relays go bad. The inside of those relays has like these little, like it'll have a little metal arm that moves over and makes contact and allows that power, the 12 volts, to pass through it. Well, if it's old or weak, it could come over and touch and initially allow the 12 volts to go through and give it that attempt to start, but then it could be not strong enough to keep contact, so it could potentially be a bad relay, or worst case scenario is going to be the ignition switch. And god damn, that's going to be a nightmare to have to deal with because the key issue. But it'll be pretty easy to troubleshoot it. Once Todd gets up and moving around, I'll probably strap on the head cam. I set it up for when he's up, and then we'll pop the hood, and it should only take a second to do the jumper wire to the trigger terminal on that solenoid. I've done that a million times, and we'll see if it cranks over, and I'll have the helmet cam on filming it for y'all to see, and we'll get to the bottom of this car thing, because he had to take off work today. I mean, hell, you can't take off every day because the damn car won't start, so we'll get to the bottom of it, figure out how to get his car started for him, but I'll pick back up with y'all. Alright guys, update on Todd's car. I've got it plumbed tore apart. We've been testing everything, trying to figure out if it's a starter or what else it could be. And it's down to the point where the problem is within the starter. I'm going to do one more voltage test just to verify I'm getting the same power at the starter that I am at the battery, to disclude any potential cable problem when he gets back. He walked to the store to get some monsters. He was needing some energy, so here I'll show you what mess we got going on so far here. Besides all my tools on the street. So I had to pull his intake manifold back because the starter is underneath the intake manifold. That's about a brilliant design, but nonetheless, that's where it's at. So I ran 12 volts from the battery and triggered the solenoid, and it still does the exact same thing that it does when you hit the key. So the only thing it could be is a cable, which is highly doubtful. It's a Honda. It's not like it's a piece of junk. And probably it's within the starter. The motor's probably just old and crapped out. So it's looking like we're going to be tearing the starter out of it and trying to put one in it. If I can't get, I'm going to clean the ground up on the battery. I'm going to add a ground to the negative side of the battery and then test the voltage at the starter of the battery to make sure it's getting power and it's grounded good. And then after that, there's really nothing else I can do besides just replace the starter. But as soon as I get back to working on it, it was too much to try to film and work on. So as soon as I get back to any more results or updates, I'll pick back up. Alright. King Mammy, I said, I pity the fool gets between me and my destiny. I take you to school, stupid. I teach you a lesson. Not to fuck with me, little bitch. I'm a dog. Decide, motherfucker, whose side you on? Alright, we done for the day working on Todd's wheel. I know I didn't put the head cam on and film it, but it was a ever-loving biatch. Sit in this old rocking chair for a minute. Oh, my back. I'm getting old, boys. So, we pinpointed the issue being the starter, and how we come to that conclusion was we basically processed of eliminated everything that we could. We ultimately checked the battery voltage at the battery, and a new battery, by the way. Had to take the intake manifold off the car to get to the starter. We checked the voltage at the starter, and it was identical, it was the same. Then I took power, I just jumped power straight from the battery to the trigger terminal on the solenoid of the starter, and it did the same thing. It had no ass. So it wasn't from lack of having power or the trigger and the solenoid was working. It's just the motors just give out. So I actually was able to do the troubleshooting of it with the intake manifold still lightweight connected. I just was able to pull it back out of the way enough to get to the terminals and shit, and then to actually remove the starter once we realized it was the starter. There's no way with 3/8 drive ratchets, and I couldn't get a wrench over the ratchet to like torque multiplier it. If anybody knows how to double up wrenches or wrench on a ratchet to extend the length to get your leverage, I couldn't. There just wasn't no room. It was getting into the radiator fan and shit. So I had to take the intake manifold plenum plumb off to be able to get enough lead. Well, actually, instead of using a ratchet, I got the 14mm bolts out with the intake still halfway attached, just pulled back. But that 17, boy, there wasn't no way. There just wasn't no way. Without a 1/2-inch drive, breaker bar type setup, and maybe like a 3.5 foot long extension or an impact to come at it with, there wasn't no way. So once I got the intake manifold off and out of the way, I was able to put a wrench on that 17 and then double it up with an 18mm wrench and get some real leverage on it. Then it broke loose and we was able to get it out. But man, what a job, son. I've got a picture of what it looks like now, how we left it. So as soon as the starter comes in tomorrow, I had to order a damn starter for it. Of course, $320 for the cheapest starter in town, and a $40 core, or $60 and wait a day. So Todd said, screw that, I'll just wait a day. Well, it's gonna not even a day, it'll be here at 7 in the morning, so we'll get him back on the road tomorrow. But yeah, so what a job, man. And it's a good thing I didn't have the helmet cam on and bring y'all along for that, because forgive me for falling short, but I sling a lot of cuss words in frustration at the mechanical stuff with no brain overpowering me and my troubleshooting abilities. It gets to me sometimes. Plus, I was hungry and tired. Hell, it was hot. You know what I'm saying? Just blah blah blah. I was bitching, and nobody want to hear all that. So it's a good thing I didn't film it. But I'll throw a picture of the end result in there. Who is that? Scage? I know that ain't Meow Meow. Some bitch. Oh yeah, that is Meow Meow. Forgot, I thought I let him in. Hell, just walked right by him talking shit. He just walks up under Todd's car. Don't drink that antifreeze that leaked out, bro. Damn, don't do that, Bubby. So anyway, there's going to be a part 2 to this video. I'm going to attempt to get it uploaded today and edited, but gosh darn, it started yesterday, man, with a bunch of actions. There ain't no telling how many clips I've got on this SD card, so I don't know if I'll be able to get it uploaded today or if it'll pushed me to my wit's end. I also got to finish building the office downstairs, so I got some stuff in to do that with, so I don't know if I'm going to get to that or just try to edit this video today. But either way, boys, it ain't no hill to a climber, and Kane never could and won't never will, so by George, we got her took apart and troubleshooted, and we're going to get him back on the road tomorrow. But I guess to be continued until next time when the part comes in. Later, y'all.